What's up guys, how are you doing today? It's Angry Roleplayer, early in the morning as usual, and today I would like to show you guys build that is one of the craziest in the fucking universe. In fact, it's on the level of craziness, it's like, near the Rolling Stones build that I did. This build is known for quite a while, since around season 5, that when the Legacy of Nightmare's rings were buffed and people were starting testing, different Crusader builds with the LoN set. And back then, people found out this build with the Shield of Fury and the Ivory Tower. It was called, in many ways, the Gatling Sader, the Holy Sader, the LoN Heaven's Fury Sader, and something like that. I will call it the Holy Machinegun, guys, because it's exactly what it does. And first of all, I would like to say that this build is incredibly hard to gear for, and it's not, an end game build. It's a fun build. But if you want to explore the builds that Crusader, offers, you can try it. It's exceptionally fun. It's super fun, guys. It's very hard to gear for this build, but if you have a general purpose, Legacy of Nightmare setup, it won't be that hard. At first, guys, I will show you the gear and explain how the build works, and then we will go into details, and at the end of the video I will show you the Great Rift 80. It was not absolutely easy to clear Great Rift 80, and most people will clear around 75. I believe it will be safe to assume that 75 is where the build is decent for most players, but 80 is like very hard. I did a ton of augments and my gear is pretty cool. And still I kind of struggle to do 80, because this is where it becomes really problematical, guys. Now, guys, for the gear, the key items, the Fate of the Fel. We attack with the Fires of Heaven and the Blessed Ground rune, and we need the Fate of the Fel to triple damage. Basically, the highest DPS Fate of the Fel that you can find, guys, you need this one. This one is pretty bad, by the way, because it has life on hit and it's not necessary for this build. It's not really that required, you just need highest damage, so a bit could be better, I guess, here. Also, keep in mind that the way Fate of the Fel works, it just spits free rays with the Fires of Heaven rune. And to hit with all the free rays from the Fires of Heaven, you need to be very close to the enemy. If you are far from the enemy, you will hit with just one ray, the central one, and the others just spread it, and the one hit. So to maximize your damage, you need to be exceptionally close, very close, face to face to the elites that are fighting, guys. Now, another key item for this build is the Ivory Tower, guys. That was the most problematic item for me to get, because you need shield, you need ancient, and you need specifically with the critical hit chance, guys, and with the block chance as well. The way the build works in general, when you block, you release forward a Fires of Heaven rune of the Heaven's Fury, guys. So basically, you need very high block chance and very high damage as well. This is not, a tons build, so you need all the critical hit chance, hit damage, and CDR as well, and also the block chance. So you need a lot of attributes for this build to be relatively damaging, relatively effective. So it's very hard to gear for, guys. You need this shield here, because this shield is one of the most unique shields, because it rolls with a very high base chance to block, and you can roll additional chance to block here and get up to 30 and higher chance to block, base chance to block, guys. And with this shield I have 57 block chance, guys. That's pretty high. So the way the build works, when you block, it automatically procs and releases the fires of heaven ahead. It's a proc, it's not a cast, and I doubt that it even counts as an attack. I think it's a 100% proc, and this is why this build is completely unique, guys. Completely unique, because this build is based on passive damage. You basically, when you attack with the left button, you do tiny amount of damage that is not even considerable. You just stack, you know, an extra attack speed and extra critical hit chance. But the most damage comes from the Blessed Ground rule of Heaven's Fury, which stacks your damage. And this is like 80% of your damage, or even 90, you know, 90% of your damage comes from these procs. So you just base your damage on passive procs. It's an incredible build. That's why it's so exceptionally unique, guys. Exceptionally unique. So another items. As for the gloves, guys, Senaku's gauge for extra toughness is preferable. The ones with DPS. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. Senaku's gauge, guys, is what you need here, but if you have stone gauntlets, they roll with immobilize. They have no unique power, but the secondary is highest immobilize in the game, and for this build to work you need to immobilize enemies, guys, and if you have stone gauntlets you can try it. You know, Sendaku's gauge are great gloves, but they are not life-changing in terms of survivability. So you can use these or stone gauntlets, guys. As for the shoulders, it's basically any shoulders, any ancient shoulders with the CDR and Heaven's Fury damage and strength, of course. I have this, and also they have this, but I prefer recently for more damage, so I have Heaven's Fury here and CDR. So any ancient with Heaven's Fury in CDR, you need Heaven's Fury here, guys, in CDR. The chest is Achilles Cuirass, nothing new here. We don't spend resource at all, we don't spend breath, so Achilles Cuirass must have. As for the helm, there's no free options here, guys. First is the Leoric's crown is the best option here. I came to a conclusion that you need Leoric's crown for this build because you need a ton of CDR. We don't have fervor, we have a two-hander, guys, and we use heavenly strength, so our CDR is exceptionally low. I'm at 37% because I don't have CDR on rings. It's just pure DPS, no CDR here at all, no CDR even here, and I need CDR here, guys. You need CDR for this build to survive and to cast all these skills. I don't have CDR, so I'm not very optimized, you know, I'm still working on that. So Leoric's crown helps with CDR a lot. It's like 25% CDR, and it's the best in slot for the helm, guys. Another good option here is Endariel's visage, but you must be exceptionally lucky to have like a helm like this. You need ancient Endariels with the holy damage, strength, and also critical hit chance. But the problem with this is you have to roll off something. You have to roll off something to a socket, and unfortunately you will never have vitality here. Never have vitality here. And you know, even if you have vitality here, you don't have lithium and you won't have CDR, so you will get, it's like a super maximized DPS setup for Endariel's visage. I also tried it, it's not bad, it's very viable. And if you have Endis here, you will have to cube Leoric's crown, guys. Leoric's crown. As for the braces of bracer of Fury Gas, the only bracer that you need. And this is why we need to immobilize the enemies, guys. Not only with the stone gauntlets that we may have here, but also with a skill like the Judgment. Judgment immobilizes enemies, guys. This is when we cast Judgment, the enemies are instant in place, and basically we proc the Bracer of Fury, and then it increases the damage of the Blessed Ground and the Fires of Heaven, guys. And one of the tricks that I noticed for this build, exceptional trick, guys, is that immobilize is the only important, stat control and pairing effect. Because when you immobilize the enemy, they still attack you. They just stand in place, they are rooted and they can't move, but they still attack, and you still block and you still proc Fires of Heaven. If you see here that you can also blind and stun the enemies. But the problem that when you blind or stun the enemies, they cannot attack. When they are blinded, they are disoriented, they cannot attack. When they are stunned, they are dizzy, they cannot attack. And when they don't attack, you don't block, you don't generate blocks, and you do not attack. So, guys, you don't want to stun and blind enemies. And every other guide that you will see there on the internet for this kind of build, if you see that ask you to blind or stun enemies, it's absolutely worthless. You just need to immobilize enemies, the only thing that we need. So that's why just Stone Gauntlets and the Judgment Rune, guys. Stone and the Judgment Rune. As for the boots, guys, illusory boots are the only boots that you need. Only boots. If you don't have ancient illusory boots from your LoN bomb Sader, then just cube them, find at least a non-ancient and cube them, and use something like the Firewalkers or the Ice Climbers. I prefer Ice Climbers all the way, guys. Ice Climbers here and illusory boots in the cube. As for the pens, these are the pens that you will need, guys, in a perfect situation. You will need this. This is Swampland Vaders from your Witch Doctor. These are the only pens in the game which can roll with elemental damage. And you can get these ones from the Witch Doctor, but they will never absolutely come with Holy Skill, because Witch Doctor rolls with poison, fire, cold, or physical. And you will need to get this from the Witch Doctor and re-roll whatever they have here to Holy, and then do an augment and add strength there. This will be the perfect pants for this build, guys. As for the belt, there's quite amount of options here, guys. I prefer a string of ears because it just give a flat damage reduction, a melee damage reduction, and an ancient will give also a ton of life or rest and armor. That's a great all-around belt just for flat damage reduction. And you will have a lot of incoming melee damage, guys. A lot of incoming melee attacks. You need to survive and reduce the damage. And while you're staying alive, you are producing blocks and you're generating Fires of Heaven procs. That's how it works, guys. You need to survive. You need to withstand a great amount of melee damage. And if you die, you don't generate blocks, you don't stack anything, and you're just worthless. But another options here would be the Sacred Harness for an extra debilitate rune, and it's just a kind of important debuff. 40% less damage from attacks from the enemies in the judged area. It's not bad at all. If you don't have ancient string of ears, use the Sacred Harness. And another good option would be to use Vigilante Belt, guys. Vigilante Belt also nice for an extra CDR, also very good. I also wanted to tell a few things about the Helm of Rule. Now a lot of guides that you will see also on the internet for the blocking shotgun, they will say, guys, use Helm of Rule, you need block chance. Well, not actually as high as a Helm of Rule adds, guys. Right now my block chance is 57%. With the celerity I will have 15 more, it will be 73% block chance. 73% block chance, guys, that's a lot of block chance in this game. 73, it's almost the cap, the soft cap. So adding 11 block chance to this, to existing, it's just not important at all. It's just fucking worthless. You will still block like crazy with this amount of block chance when with celerity procs in. You don't really need this Helm of Rule. It's not worth to trade 1000 wheat for 11 block chance. Absolutely not. It's fucking worthless. Don't use Helm of Rule. Use Leoric's Crown or Endurance Visage. These are the only two you will need, guys. The only two you will need. Now guys, what else? The braces. Oh, the one said about the braces. In the cube we have Nemesis braces here, guys, for an extra release, because we need extra release to kill and progress. But if you have GG Nemesis braces with the Holy and a shitty Bracer of Fury with the low legendary power, you can switch those and just use Nemesis braces here and Bracer of Fury here for maximized Heaven's Fury. Absolutely, just use this. As for the rings, of course, it's the Litany of Dante and the Wailing Horse, guys. Maximum DPS that you can find, absolutely. Maximum DPS, absolutely. And the amulet is the Hellfire amulet with an extra passive, guys, nothing else. If you don't have the Ancient Hellfire, use any Ancient with the Holy skill. You need Holy damage, absolutely, on the amulet. Ancient Holy amulet, but I prefer if you have a good Hellfire mode, the 5th passive is exceptionally good, like the Finder, for example. It's exceptionally good passive, guys. If you don't have, Eye of the, you can also use Eye of the Elich, because it reduces ranged attacks. Eye of the Elich with the Holy would be like the second best after Ancient Hellfire amulet, guys. As for the legendary gems, here comes another trick, guys, because we need to survive a lot, and this is like the only build in the universe that do not need Bane of the Stricken to kill enemies, guys. You need Esoteric Alteration, Bane of the Trapped, and the Gizzard. You need recovery more than anything else in this for this build, more than anything else, because if you don't recover, you don't withstand damage, you just die no matter how much damage reduction you can have. It's just fucking pointless to have a ton of damage reduction. So you need a ton of toughness, and less than 300 millions of toughness. I just died too much, and I came to a conclusion that I have to drop the Bane of the Stricken, and even without the Bane of the Stricken, the build performs well. So it's just not important for this build, guys. You know why? Because you have this item in the cube, Shield of Fury. Each time an enemy takes damage from your Heaven's Fury, it increases the damage they take from your Heaven's Fury by 20%. And it's completely uncapped. Every time you hit the enemy with the Blessed Ground, guys, it adds another stack and another stack and another stack with every tick. And this is infinite, this is uncapped. And this is like your, Bane of the Stricken. You just, stack your damage infinitely with this. So we kind of compensate the loss of the Bane of the Stricken a little, guys. And the ring here is Convention of the Elements here, guys. And keep watch for your Holy Rotation. This is where we do most of our damage. Fires of Heaven is a Holy Rune, guys. And Blessed Ground is also a Holy Rune. So when your Holy Rune procs, keep in mind you must always cast the Judgment. Always cast Judgment just a little before you have the Holy Rune to immobilize enemies and to proc the Bracer of Fury. Always remember that, guys. That would be exceptionally good, guys. And you will maximize your damage, and this is how you will melt your elites completely. Now for the normal gems, guys, it's diamonds all around, diamonds everywhere, absolutely no exception. As for the skills, on the left button we have the Punish Celerity. I chose Celerity for increased attack speed because it goes just into my shit damage, guys. It goes into my shit damage. When I block, I get 15% increased attack speed for 3 seconds. Guys, go to my shit damage. And attack speeds also affect your Fires of Heaven procs. They start to attack faster, guys. They also have some of small delay, and they also affect the ticks of the blast ground. So basically everything is affected by attack speed. And the second good option here will be Fury. When you block, you gain 50% increased critical chance for next attack. It also increases your damage, and these two are the best guys, the best. There's also an option to have rebirth. I also use rebirth for next to increase life, but as I already have a fucking ton of regen, it's not really that good. It's kind of pales in comparison. These are the two DPS options that you may have, guys. Switch between the two and see what unleashes the most DPS for you. I prefer celerity. Because it also allows me to manually attack faster, and I also have life on hit here, and I replenish a bit faster with attack speed, guys. On the right button, Icarus Champion Prophet, our second life. No other rune is better here. Now on the first button, guys, Judgment Deliberation. Now you will maybe ask me, why not Resolved or Mass Vertical or anything else? You know, guys, the longer the monsters are immobilized, the more we proc the Bracer of Fury. And this is basically raises our chances to immobilize them as much as possible. This increases the immobilization to 10 seconds, and the cooldown is 20 seconds. So basically, with a 50% CDR, we cut this cooldown in half, and we can immobilize infinitely, guys, infinitely. And this just comes immediately on cooldown after 10 seconds, and we can immobilize again. There's exceptionally good rune, guys. And the second one that I would suggest would be the Resolve for next to DPS as well, and Debilitate for debuff. These are the three that are kind of worthwhile. This one is better because it's better for Bracer of Fury. Now on the second button here, it has kind of an open slot. There can be anything here, but I prefer Bathed in Light Consecration for an extra 40k regen for 10 seconds, guys. It's very good, guys, very good. And I already have the Gizzard Gem for gives me 100k, and this gives me another 40k, so I get 140k, and also get 10k from the Paragon, guys. 10k from the Paragon, and oh yeah, here 10k from the Paragon, and I have 160k regen. This is crazy. And this is what allows me to recover and to withstand damage and to recover exceptionally faster. Another good option here would be Iron Skill Steel Skin, the only good rune that you can use here. Anything else is not so good, guys, not so good. You know, you can try Provoke, you can say Stitch Charge, or even Condemn Vacuum here for, you know, generate an extra density. But I prefer this, you know, because this gives me more life regen, more sustain, and I just survive so much better, guys, so much better. Now for the lures, there's a couple of options here. I prefer also Vela Critical. It also gives me increased attack speed, guys, increased attack speed and a 50% critical damage for extra DPS, 10 more critical damage. 10% of my critical hit damage is also good. Yes, extra DPS buff that you need to push into highest grade rate possible, and basically this is what allowed me to push into 80. Another good rune here will be Lords of Justice, Decaying Strength, guys, must have. This is like a priceless toughness passive that you may use here. It's exceptionally good. Now the only two that you will need are Decaying Strength and the critical. Invincible is not that good because we have a slow to handle attack, really slow. That's not worth it, guys. So just critical and Decaying Strength here. Critical for DPS, guys. Now this is what stacks our Shield of Fury, guys. I came to this Heaven's Fury, Blessed Ground. It's the best DPS and all passive kind of with the cooldown thing and a skill that just stacks everything, And keep in mind that the way the shield works is it does not stack Shield of Fury. When it procs, it's a proc, and procs, they do not proc other procs. That's a rule in this game. So this is a proc, and when it attacks, it doesn't stack a Shield of Fury. Only your manual attacks with Heaven's Fury, with Blessed Ground, when you cast this, it starts stacking Shield of Fury. And when you stack Shield of Fury, you get the stacks for this Shield of Fury, it starts increasing the damage for your Fires of Heaven. This is how it works, guys. It buffs, basically this rune buffs this shield, and this shield is buffs everything. It buffs this rune, and it buffs the procs from the Ivory Tower. That's how it works, guys. That's how it works. It's quite interesting interaction, and like I said, this build is completely unique. It's nothing else in this game. As for the passives, now the must-have passive is Heaven of Strength to wear the Fate of the Failed. Another must-have passive is Hold Your Ground, 30% block chance increase. We need to block, guys. Another good, exceptionally good passive is Holy Cost, 10% increased damage, and we heal for 1% when we deal holy damage, and we deal quite a lot of holy damage, guys. Another good, incredibly important passive is Indestructible, because you know this is a very fragile, very squishy build, and you see that it requires a ton of toughness to survive. And this is your second life through the rift, and you see every 60 seconds you have second life. And for 15 minutes rift, it will save you at least 15 times. 15 times second life through the rift. It's exceptionally good, guys. And the fifth passive would be Finery, the only passive that you need. Another decent passive for surviving would be Renewal, guys. When you block, you gain a little life. It's not that good or life changing. I personally ran with Renewal, guys, but Holy Cost is so much better. It gives DPS and it gives healing, so Renewal is not that good, guys. It's not that good. Another decent passive here would be Long Arm of the Lore as well, and the Vigilant, because it reduces all non-physical damage. It also boosts your toughness. But Long Arm of the Lore increases the amount of DPS that you can make, so Long Arm of the Lore is like a maximum DPS, passive. You can use this instead of Indestructible if you're willing to survive, or instead of Finery. But Finery gives you around 10% of more strength and armor, so I would not drop Finery. So these are the passives you need for maximum DPS and survival, guys, and also the Finery here. Now guys, how to play this build, First of all, concentrate on leads, skip all trash packs. Now increased patch 2.43, the trash has been so increased in so huge amounts that it's hard to survive and withstand damage from trash. The damage the trash inflicts is almost the same as the elites, but the progression they give is terrible, absolutely terrible. So you just need to kill elites as fast as possible, guys. Another tip as you can get is you need recovery above anything else. So Gizzard is your most important gem in this build. Build Gizzard, level up Gizzard for this build if you want to play this like a first priority. Try to cast Judgment before Holy Rotation, guys. You must be watching this. On the last second of Fire Rune, you immediately cast Judgment and immobilize enemies, guys. Rift Guardian without ads, without supporting monsters, that will take considerable amount of time, guys, because they basically slow attacks too slow, and when they attack slow, you do not proc your Fires of Heaven, and you attack slow. When they attack slow, you attack slow, and basically you do a low amount of damage to the single elites and single Rift Guardians. That's quite problematical. And about CDR, the last thing I wanted to say about CDR, guys. About 50% CDR is good. I don't have that much. My rings are pretty bad. They're just damage and damage. And my Fate of the Fail rolled without CDR as well. I know I had one with CDR, but I salvaged it. Salvaged it, guys, because I thought I would don't what needed. So I had to craft this one. But you need one with CDR, and you need around 50 CDR to be much smoother to play. You will have 100% of time of judgment, more consecration, more laws, more blaze grounds, and more prophet champion. Everything is better. So try as much CDR as possible, guys, and then go for area damage. That's how it works, guys. And another thing that I want to say is another unique feature of this build is that there was a clear in Season 5 when 2 Asian Crusaders cleared 92 and in 2 men. They played 2 Crusaders with the LoN Heaven's Fury. And the thing is that Heaven's Fury and Shield of Fury is just over stacks, and when another player stacks Heaven's Fury on the mob and you stack Heaven's Fury, it kind of adds up, and you basically get they basically get double damage from the Heaven's Fury. That's why 2 Crusaders in this setup are absolutely fantastic. And if you guys ever find a second Crusader to try this build and talk him to into trying these builds and play together, I think that will be exceptionally fun. Now this will be quite a problem to generate so much blocks, but in increased density it's very possible, and there will be some crazy results, I guess, crazy results. So 2 Crusaders cleared 92 in Season 5 without very high gems. So it's a very fun build, guys. You watch the clear at the end of the video. And this is one of the last Crusader builds that I wanted to explore, guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
What does one say to an ancient Nephilim ghost?
I suppose you start with hello.
I wish you luck, hero. wait longer.